Hi guys.
We're back, two mommies with 5 kids. So it's been a few days since we've done our video. We will not be doing an interview with our oldest son, Jalen. Right now he doesn't want to at the moment. I'm not really sure if it's because he stutters or what. Hopefully we'll get him on here. But we're going to take...
He will.
He will. He'll do it. But we're going to take today to kind of talk about something that happened last night. And happened to Desiree a couple days ago, and this is why we haven't been able to do a video.
Yeah, so Friday, it's supposed to be a good day. It's Friday. We have a routine for our daycare kids, and they come in first thing in the morning, and they sit at the table and have breakfast. Then they take their little chair, and they go into the living room and watch cartoons until everyone else arrives, and that's their morning schedule. So one of the daycare kids sat his chair in front of another kid, so therefore that kid couldn't see the cartoons, and it was just, a big deal. So I go in, and dummy me, I don't tell him, hey, stand up so I can move your chair. Being the She-Ra that I think I am, I just bend down and pick his chair up with him in it, and he's almost 3. And right as I picked him up and turned, I knew that was a boo-boo. I couldn't straighten up.
She like collapsed into the piano when she started walking.
I had sharp pains going down my legs. I had totally threw my back out. And I've done that before, but it's been like 10 years ago. I've had back trouble, but not anything like this at all. When I tell you that I was in excruciating pain, I told the nurse in the ER that I would rather give birth without drugs than go through that again. I literally couldn't stand up straight. It was like something in there was grabbing my nerves or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Anytime I would try to straighten up or walk, I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. So, long story short, I went to the ER. They did x-rays, which I knew nothing on the x-ray was going to show up because it wasn't my bones. It was just,
something pulled.
So I got some medicine. One of my daycare parents said I needed to go to a chiropractor.
And she wasn't going to go.
No.
I forced her.
That's always scared me because I've heard horror stories where people go to a chiropractor and they get messed up even worse. So I was nervous. I was scared.
But I made her go.
But I ended up going, and I am so glad I did because I laid on his table. He did some adjusting.
Belly down.
Yeah, I was laying on my stomach, and he had my feet bent up like this.
Your legs.
Yeah, my legs, whatever. So he was looking at my feet, and one was measuring 2 to 3 inches shorter than the other. That's how bad my pelvis was out of place, dislocated, whatever you want to call it. It was horrible. But after my first session at the chiropractor, I was able to stand up straight without as much pain.
So getting better each time.
Yeah, so I've had 2 sessions at the chiropractor. I have several more to go because I'm still sore. But it's getting better, and I've learned my lesson. Don't pick up a kid like that.
So that's why we haven't been able to really do a video, because it's been hard for her to be comfortable, and she's been on some pain meds, so it's been...
I can't sit for very long, and I can't stand for very long.
Yeah. So another thing we were going to talk about is, and we were questioning, like, should we talk about this? Because I'm not sure how our audience, our people, how they would feel about this. But I told her I think it's an interesting subject for us and something we deal with. Her and Hannah, the oldest daughter, which we already interviewed, have always been able to, how would you call it, like sixth sense, almost like that.
We sense spirits, and
negative.
We can see. We see figures.
Shadow figures.
We sense spirits. I've never encountered a bad spirit here, but I have at somebody else's house.
And at the reformatory.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We went to what's
a
it
prison.
called?
Ohio State Reformatory. The Mansfield prison.
Mansfield prison, yeah.
But anyhow, that's changing subject. Her and Hannah can see spirits, like she was just saying, negative and good ones. And like she said, she has never had a negative feeling in our house, because let me tell you, if she would have, or if she ever does, we'd handle that as soon as possible with whatever she needs to do. And before I move. But anyhow, so here lately in the house, we've been having some experiences. And for instance, we'll talk about last night's, and then if you want to talk about any of the other experiences we had, go for it. Oh, and we also had a medium come December of 2018, and she's actually going to be coming back again. I have to ask her first if she's wanting her name out there before I give it to you, but she was great. So last night, we're laying in bed, falling asleep, and we both hear something.
It was a very audible voice. It was like someone right next to us, like to where she sat up and thought there was a kid in our room. One of the kids.
On her side. So I sat up and looked over to my left. And I don't think I said anything, really. I can't honestly remember.
Well, you just said, did you hear that? To
yeah.
me.
Yeah, but so whatever. We lay back down. And
I just start falling asleep.
And I hear a voice right there next to me, like so loud to where.
And this one sits up. What are you doing? What are you saying? Scared me to death.
Talking to whatever that voice was, and I'm looking, it's really dark in the room, and I reach my hand out even, I'm feeling, because I thought it was a kid, and they're not speaking to me, so I start to feel, and there's nothing there, and I'm like, what in the world?
So of course, this was the second time she woke me up within 30 minutes. So of course, it took me forever to go to sleep because I was hearing things after that, hearing bags rustle, the animals were stirring, Gizmo and Miss Kitty, because they sleep in there with us. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what is going on? So yeah, and we've had other experiences too in this house where I was on vacation, she was in bed, she heard the doorknob jiggling and mommy.
And I ended up getting angry because I didn't lock my door. And the boys were here with me.
So she's thinking, why aren't you just coming in?
Right. So
something's wrong.
Hurry up and open the door to say, like, what in the world? There was nobody there at all. So I jumped my happy little butt back in bed and turned the TV on and had the TV on the rest of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's nothing dangerous or out to hurt us, but I mean, come on. It's going to spook anybody. Our kids don't know anything about this except for Hannah, because she also has experiences in the house. She has someone.
Well, her first one was at school.
Yeah, but I'm saying she says that every time she opens her eyes, there's a figure, a face in hers, and then it fades away.
But it's nothing.
No, but
it's nothing negative that she's feeling.
She can feel the negative spirits as well, and it's not. And what we've been told is with Hannah and Desiree, the spirits with them, they tend to go to them because it's like a light bulb on top of their head.
Like they flock to us because they know we can see them and they think we can communicate with them. Mm-hmm. But
really, they don't know how to.
And I'm not getting to that point.
Well, Hannah wants to, but
no,
we'll see. Okay, never mind. But like we said, that's not the only things that has happened in the house. There's been a time where we were laying in bed and the TV was still on, and I was just laying there. I always keep my phone next to me on the nightstand, and I'm laying there, and all of a sudden I heard a noise in the bathroom, and it startled me. And then Desiree was still awake at the time but trying to sleep, and she heard it too. And I was just, and then 5 seconds after that, my phone moved, like almost like jerked.
Well, it was almost like someone pulled it by the cord and made it like was dragging it.
So that night, that really scared me, to where we ended up putting the bathroom light on, sleeping with the bathroom light on.
And just a couple weeks ago, I don't know if I was getting home from somewhere. I think I had just got home from somewhere. And I looked in my rearview mirror, and there was a man sitting in my back seat. Like a tall, skinny man, and he had an old-fashioned hat on. So, I mean, I didn't get an eerie, creepy feeling again. I didn't get anything like that. But
like I said, if she was ever getting anything like that, we'd be like with the sage, and we'd be taking care of that. Like, she knows. There was a situation one time we went into Florida, and there was a situation with somebody that said that they felt there was something going on in their home. A lot of negative, a lot of noises, and just feeling uncomfortable in their home. And so,
well, you need to explain that. They were at church praying over this girl that was possessed. She was legitimately possessed.
Yeah, so they were trying to do their own thing, you know.
They were at the church till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and this person said, let's just move this meeting to my house. It's getting late, whatever. And come to find out, they all, the youth group spent the night at her house.
Together in one room. And ever since that happened, there was a lot of weird stuff happening in their house, especially that room. Where the dog was uncomfortable in that room. I mean, they just kept hearing noises. They didn't want to be in there. There was a lot of tension in that room, right?
Yeah.
So she went, another friend of us went with us. Anyhow, when she walked in that room, she couldn't breathe. There was, she said, a tightness in her chest, a very heaviness in her chest.
Well, and I had no idea where that girl slept that night in that room. I had no idea if she slept in the bed, if she slept on the floor. Well, I was drawn to the back of the room. It was like almost like a nook area with a futon. And that's where I felt the heaviest. And come to find out, that's where that girl slept, was on that futon. And I had no idea that that's where she stayed. But later on they told me, I can't believe you went directly to the spot where she slept. So yeah.
They did some things, not an exorcism or anything like that, because it wasn't a person possessed, but they
prayed over the room and stuff.
they used some holy oil and some things like that. Scripture, and it's gone. I mean, that they kept going back in the room to make sure the heaviness was gone. So that's what I'm saying about the negative spirits. She knows how to sense them, because then we went to, like we mentioned, the Mansfield prison, and we went into a certain room, and she couldn't breathe. She had to walk away. She had to get out of there. Her and Hannah, both, that room. And I'm walking in there like, oh, I don't sense nothing, you know? And so we have a lot of interesting stuff like that happen to us. I mean, I don't know if anybody else out there has things or stories like that. If you do, feel free to comment below some of those. We'd be interested. We love watching that paranormal stuff.
But yeah, but if they could let us sleep tonight,
be great.
That'd be really great.
And when she's going on her vacation in July and it's just me here, please leave me alone.
I'll tell them to come knocking on your door.
No. So yeah, that's an interesting fact about us, and you know, nobody I know knew that. So
well, a couple friends.
Well, I mean, yeah, a couple friends that look at us with their eyes real wide and like when they hear the story, it's like, But
yeah, you'll find out all kinds of interesting facts that nobody knows.
Oh, we started telling Hannah's experience with her first encounter. And I think I cut you off.
Yeah, hers was at her school in 6th grade. Because her elementary school just happens to be right across the street from a cemetery.
A very old cemetery.
And with the middle school, it's 2 buildings, and they're connected by a connector, and it's a glass building, like basically, like a glass hallway.
Yeah, it's like a courtyard on the outside of it.
Yeah. And she came home one day, and she's like, Mommy, she's like, I keep seeing these shadow figures, these dark figures. She said they're shaped like a person, and they're walking around in the courtyard. She said it's really scaring me. So that was her first encounter. And I talked to her and told her, you know, you don't have to be afraid. If there's ever a time that you do feel afraid, you know, you can pray. You can ask God to protect you and whatever. Even though I'm not in church right now, I obviously believe there is a God, and
Yeah, like,
teach my children that there is a God and you can still pray.
yeah.
And
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if there's any way to upload it to this video, but when we went one time to Mansfield Prison, we've been
3 times.
3 times. We decided to do
An EVP,
yes, with just my phone, something simple.
which is a voice recorder.
So we were in a certain room,
A cell.
sorry. And Desiree was talking and trying to get them to talk, and nothing. But then Olivia, because Olivia was with us, and Hannah.
Well, and I had told them to be quiet. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like a super sensitive. It picks up
It picks up
everything.
anything.
So Eric, the girl's dad, was down the hall, and
He's about 50 feet from us to 100.
you can hear Olivia's feet running down the hallway and her saying, "Daddy, Daddy." She's whispering because we had told her to be quiet.
And there's nobody else around us, because in
No.
earlier parts of the EVP,
Well,
you can hear the other
Yeah,
people
you
talking.
can hear the other people, but they're not anywhere near us.
Yeah.
But you hear Olivia's
Patio.
footsteps running down the hall and her saying, "Daddy, Daddy." And then in a very audible man's voice, you hear, "Daddy." Like it's mocking her. So that was kind
Chills.
of, that freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah, we found that on there because we kept listening. We're like, man, I don't really hear anything. And then I was like, what is that? So we kept tweaking the video or the voice recorder, and we picked it up. It was pretty awesome, I will say myself. And we snapped some photos, and there are a few with orbs in them, so that was pretty cool.
Okay, well, we won't take up any more of your time. We just wanted to let you know why we haven't uploaded a video in a couple days, because my crippled self has
broke.
not been able to.
She's broke.
So yeah, we will do another video soon, and let us know your experiences with what we've talked about if you've had any. Comment below and like and subscribe our page. All right, good night.
Bye.